welcome to New Age DFS's official first Premier League slate breakdown.
This is a huge slate we got going on here. 6-gamer. We haven't seen one of these since probably like one of the first weeks of the season, especially, or since like UCL maybe. First game we're going to look at here, Arsenal-Brentford. Arsenal minus 227 favorites, and their set pieces are a complete disaster.
That's an understatement.
I mean, in this team, my personal guess is Cedric and Odegaard splitting, but I mean, who knows? Saka could split, Smith Rowe could split.
I think it'll be a Smith Rowe Odegaard split, though dealing with that Martinelli makes it a lot more difficult.
Yeah, and then for Brentford, we got probably Jensen taking everything, maybe some Janelt in there.
Maybe some Waymo in there.
Never him. No. Next game, we got Aston Villa, Watford. Villa minus 154 favorites. This doesn't have Douglas Luiz projected, who's been splitting with Digne. If this is the lineup, you got to think Digne either takes most, or he has at least his side, maybe Coutinho, but maybe Digne Monopoly. And if he has Monopoly, he's probably a lock. Yep. And then for Watford, it's been Kiko Monopoly.
And I think it'll continue to be Kiko.
He's just, his corners are so bad, but I'm not Roy Hodgson, so he can just keep having Kiko corners. Next game, we got Brighton and Burnley. Brighton minus 161 favorites. I think they're in a smash spot here. This is the lineup. McAllister is just a complete lock. He will take everything and some. And then Burnley, I mean, they're also kind of a mess. Westwood, Cornet, and McNeil.
Largely Cornet, Westwood.
Yeah, they're just a mess. They keep switching every game. They're getting annoying. I don't want any part. Maybe Pope is the only guy I'd play on them. Crystal Palace, Chelsea. Chelsea minus 154. The big thing here is no Conor Gallagher because he's on loan from Chelsea, so can't play in this one. So I think Chelsea are in a pretty good spot. If this is the team, I'm assuming Ziyech Monopoly, but Alonso could always take. If you don't see Alonso and you see like Cho or something, I think Ziyech's probably a lock or close to it. Next game, the biggest game, most
What
important.
about Palace sets? The people want Palace sets.
Palace sets in this team is actually probably a Will Hughes Monopoly, and he's 3K, right? 3,100 or something.
He's tempting.
He's tempting for a 6, but cash play only, I'll say, for that. But this is the biggest game, the only game people really should care about. Liverpool Norwich. Liverpool minus 1,000. Man, I don't know how you don't play Mo Salah, but the sets for this is obviously Robertson and Alexander-Arnold splitting. And the decision of the slate is whether you play Trent or not, or whether you play Salah or not. And if this is the lineup, we got like Firmino cheap, Diaz cheap, but we'll go in that when we check out the pricing. And then Norwich, and this is Rashica and Gilmore split. I don't think you play anybody on Norwich except if you're punting Gunn, maybe. And then last game, Southampton Everton. Southampton plus 105, slight favorites. Set pieces, obviously Ward Prowse, everything. And Everton in this team would be Gordon, everything. So let's check out the prices. So we're going to start at forward. What do you like at forward?
So the obviously big name is Mo Salah, but he's 10-2. You probably need at least 2 goal contributions to pay off. And that'll probably be the decision. I mean, he's just been on fire this year, but he's cooled down the last 2 games, so I'm not completely sure whether he's worth it. Like, I think I could see you going to, like, Diaz Firmino, and that could be your Liverpool coverage right there.
I think you could go for Firmino is too cheap for what he is, regardless of whether you actually think he's good or not. 7,100 for a striker on a minus 1,000 favorite is too cheap, right?
Yeah.
And also, if we see Diaz instead of Mane, I think Diaz is so due for that first Premier League goal. So if he starts, I like him a lot.
completely agree. He's
I
also
think
just looked really good, just so far. He
like
kind of fit right into the system.
he's gonna get fouls drawn. He's gonna get shots, maybe cross a little bit, some key passes. If he starts, you gotta think 10 to 15 point floor in this kind of game, right?
Yeah.
I was hesitant.
I mean, 10 to 15 is high. A 15-point floor is like Ward Prowse level of floor, which I'm not sure anyone's capable of. But a goal or something probably gets good for 25, I'd say. Yeah.
Any other forwards you like in this 8-9K range that isn't on Liverpool?
Oof. I mean, Coutinho's got to be kind of tempting, right? If he has a share of sets without Luis. Like, he can get there.
I just feel like
He's playing Watford.
I just feel like Aston Villa never gets sets for it to be worth it. For him to be worth it, needs a goal contribution.
Yeah, he's been getting those. I think Saka's probably the one I'm least inclined to go. I know they're playing Brentford, but he's a lot for what he is. I think I'd rather go with Liverpool guy for that price range, especially if he doesn't have any sets with Odegaard taking recently.
If Odegaard were to somehow miss, then that's when the whole conversation would change of whether you play soccer or not. But
yeah.
Let's keep going down here. We got
Maupai. Maupai is kind of interesting.
For GPP, yeah, I'll have some Maupai for. I'm never a
He's
Maupai
not a
guy.
price.
I'm never a Maupai guy, but I could play him here. Same with Richarlison.
I think you're looking for the gap matchup. So, I like your Brightons, like your Liverpool, so you just pick from there. I'm not as high on Chelsea as everyone else either. But although Lukaku at 7K is cheap, though. I've never seen him that cheap.
Lukaku should not be cheaper than Neo Maupai, regardless of matchup, right? That's just. He shouldn't be the same price as Pascal Gross, regardless of who they are as players.
Or Jordan Ayew.
No. Also, another guy down here who's in projected, Kai Havertz at 6,700 is ridiculously cheap, right?
I'd still play Firmino over him.
I play Firmino over Lukaku and over Havertz. Another interesting guy who hasn't started in a while, so he may get subbed, but Ismaila Sarr, if you guys remember at the beginning of the year, this guy was a DFS god. Look at this at the beginning. I mean, he was fantastic.
Yeah, he doesn't even take corners or anything. It's just open.
Yeah, this is
play.
all
11 crosses, just open play.
And Aston Villa are not a team to be afraid of defensively. They give up goals and points also, regardless of them being at home. And
Watkins, I think he was right there too. Same thing.
Yeah, and
he can get there.
Watford give up goals for fun too, and Ollie Watkins got a goal disallowed by like a millimeter last game, so maybe he's hungry for some more in this next game, right?
Yeah, you got to remember this is a 6-game slate, so and not like a 2-game that we've been kind of used to. So you need upside, you need goals. Like it's not just enough to get like some good floor plays. Like you're gonna need 1, 2, 3 goals from like these guys, especially the higher up ones. Since like a Salah, he could get a goal, gets like 16 or say. You could get that from like a 6K guy. So there's just so many options. There's gonna be a cheap goal somewhere.
And also,
so just another thing to think about.
The ownership on a guy like Ollie Watkins, I know he's in a good matchup, or a guy like Sarr isn't going to be as much as it would be in a 2 or 3 gamer. In a 6-gamer, these guys are going to be like 8%. Those 8% goals that you get are going to get you right up the leaderboard.
Yep, you're never really out of it when there's a slate this big.
You're not out of it unless your whole team gets subbed at halftime, like is what has been happening in all these games.
So I mean, that's happening a lot because there's only so many guys you can go, and one guy getting subbed automatically screws you since you had to have picked someone in that area. And it just becomes just luck whether you got the one guy who didn't get subbed.
All right, so let's go to this low 6K, 5K range. We got Calvert Lewin, GPP only for me.
Yeah, he's still working his way back to full fitness.
If Werner plays, I like Werner. I don't think he's going to play, though. Danny Ings, we know what Danny Ings can do. I think he should be on penalties if he...
He hasn't been playing, I don't think.
He started last game, but... Oh, no, he came off the bench. Maybe if he starts, he should take penalties.
Yeah, he's interesting if he plays.
Dennis has gotten a price discount. Maybe Dennis. But the guy I'm interested the most... Maybe he doesn't play, but I don't know. Tuchel would be doing a disservice by playing the Crystal Palace American killer himself, Pulisic. 5,700. He scored in just about every single game against Crystal Palace. If he starts, I don't know how you don't, lock and load Pulisic.
Yeah, I would. He's very in play if he plays. Very in play.
Another guy in projected, Danny Welbeck. But
Yeah.
when
I
you get
agree.
down here, you're just punting, right?
Dele
That's
Alli, 4,500. I saw.
never Dele Alli. Don't play Dele Alli. He's a waste of space. Never Dele Alli. And let's see anything
All
down
those are
here.
just flyer. Make the
Yeah.
rest of your team work, kind of.
All right, let's go to midfield, where we got maybe not a decision on the slate, but Ziyech is the most appealing of these, I would say, out of the most. But I don't know if you're prioritizing paying up at midfield.
Yeah, I mean he's likely going to have a monopoly though, and he's been getting there even with the amount split. So
I mean, he's been
he
playing
needs
good.
a goal contribution, obviously, but if he scores, I think he's needed. I'd say he's probably like 30 with a goal.
He's been good. He's been good
Yeah.
for them for sure. And
What about Ward Prowse, the cash
the
king
guy.
himself?
This is the cash GPP king too. I mean, if he's going to drop
I mean,
31, you'll take that at 87. But
I think he's I always tend to be against Ward Prowse since you never expect a goal contribution from like a defensive midfielder. I think I'll be like with this many games, I don't think he's worth it for that much. If it was a 2-gamer, I'd say lock and load.
I think there's better spots. If you want to take a 15 from someone, 8,700 WordPress is your guy. Cash, maybe.
I don't think you want to take a 15, even for 8,700.
Right. But some people might, but it's tough. Smith Rowe, GPP, sure. Gordon was real good last game with Monopoly. Gotten a goal and an assist.
Real good.
38 points against the Leeds at home. Leeds were horrible, though. It's a different. And Southampton have been on fire, so I don't know if I want Gordon this matchup.
That game's a hard game to pick from, I think.
I think that game's a cross-off, GPP only type thing. We keep going. My favorite play, probably on the whole entire slate, is McAllister at 7,300.
Yes, if Gross isn't in.
Yeah, if Gross isn't in, it dampens my likeness for McAllister. But if not, McAllister's in such a smash spot here. We keep going.
Buendia. You love Buendia.
I don't like Buendia. I don't think he's good. He's not on set pieces. He's not going to get 17 fouls drawn and 18 shots a game, so I'll pass.
He could.
He has a good matchup. I can't do it.
I think he's going to play.
Jorginho, if you want a pen, but even 6,200 for
Trossard, too. Trossard, I like a lot.
If he isn't projected, he's been horrible.
He's not been good, but like he's got the ability. He's got 25 in there. He's got the ability to go off, and Burnley's the team that you'd expect him to come good against.
Like he could get floor. He could get some floor, and he gets that floor mixed in with the goal contribution at 6,200. He'll take that over, per se, a Jorginho penalty, right?
Yes, for sure. I'd never play a Jorginho on a slate like this for that much.
You got John McGinn. This guy is the king of getting there. Not recently, though, but I feel like always
the 6s
in
and 7s aren't terrible.
These big classic slates, it feels like a guy like John McGinn's the guy who gets you that takedown, though.
Yeah, something like 2% down John McGinn or something could do it. You're right.
We keep going. Jacob Ramsey's been really good. Yeah. He's been like ridiculously good. I'm interested in him, GPP for sure. He's still 5,100 against Watford, who give up goals for fun.
Awesome. Yeah, you're going to look at his high upside plays like that. Guys who can have the capability of scoring 2 goals or a goal and an assist for that cheap.
Charlie loves it.
Someone's going to do it. So you just need to be lucky and find who does.
And you love a goal-scoring center mid like him.
I do love my box-to-box goal-scoring center mids.
We keep going. This is just punt. Maybe a Liverpool guy, like if Curtis Jones
you go like
starts.
a Henderson or Thiago, maybe get an assist or something.
Yeah, maybe down here we got Sanson is in projected.
He has an off chance of taking.
He hasn't been playing. He hasn't started since that game where he had like a meltdown on the sidelines, if you remember. He just broke everything, so maybe he's looking for some revenge. The guy I like a lot down here, probably the only guy I like the most down here is Basuma. 3,900. He has a real good floor. If he gets a goal contribution or something, I like Basuma a lot here for 39 as a last man in type deal.
I'd say same with Kuchka. Is more my kind of guy. Another box-to-box mid who has a goal in it.
Kuchka, Van de Beek. He got robbed of an assist last game, so maybe Van de Beek. Partey, maybe off a set piece.
I wouldn't go that. I don't think. Yeah, like I said, you're looking for upside guys. Luza, if he's in, I love. He'll take over.
Luza could take over Kiko. And people won't know this, though. People will not know that Luza takes over Kiko.
He also gets subbed at halftime every game, though, which is an issue.
Harvey Elliott, if he were to start, we saw him start in the Champions League, 3,200. Like, that's a real enticing matchup.
Really, really good spot.
And
everything else is, if you need to make your budget work, go somewhere.
And the last
except Will Hughes,
Will Hughes, 3K. If he has Monopoly, it will, regardless of being against Chelsea, 3K is enticing. Then defender, Trent. Are you playing Trent?
I don't know, honestly. Like, I usually am always the guy to play him. But like I said, when there's this many games, like, there's going to be places where you can get maybe not quite that many points, but a similar amount somewhere else. Like a Digne saves you 3K, which is huge in a slate like this.
Do you play Robertson over Trent?
I think so, yeah. Like, budget's so huge here since there's so many good attackers that you want to be paying up for. Like, Trent has a ceiling, but he's not as likely to reach that as those other Liverpool attackers. And I think you're chasing that more in this game, considering there's so many other games.
I think you play one, not both, right?
Yeah, I don't know how you play both. You just have to just punt all that's your team.
So Alonso,
I think is my favorite defender of them all today or tomorrow.
Yeah. If Digne has he has at least a split, we know that. But if he were to have Monopoly somehow, Digne is probably in the best point per dollar. Not the best matchup, but point per dollar, probably the best play.
Yes.
All these Arsenal guys, GPP, sure. Tierney always feels like in these classic slates gets like a assist or something.
I like Cash too. I like Aston Villa defenders are pretty active.
I'm not a Cash guy.
He can get there. He's not over expensive.
If Cedric starts, he's interesting. If we don't see Tomiyasu and we see Cedric, he could split. His logs aren't appealing. We don't know if he'll actually take. It's a risk for sure, but if he were to take a side,
it's worth the risk. I'd rather go Femenia if he's in.
Yeah, Kiko, he's been taking and he's been getting there. He's been getting good points with the Monopoly assets.
How much is Kamara?
Prices. Same price, just about maybe 4,800.
Yeah, I Watford fullbacks are very active. I like both of them.
So you like all four fullbacks in the Aston Villa game?
Yes, I love the fullbacks from that game. I think that game's going to be high scoring. So there's a high chance that one of them just gets an assist off a cross there.
All right, another guy I like is Livramento, 4,100. He's good. He's good for like a 8 if you're looking for that.
Kanyos, if we're looking at last time Brentford played Arsenal, first game of the season.
Right? He was a killer. I remember that. 24 points. That was the only good game he's had all year, so good for him. We got.
You can do it again.
Let's see. Anything else down here? Mitchell. Aaron's.
Yeah. A lot of these slates, a center back wins it for somebody.
Oh, so let's talk about a center back. I think Shane Duffy.
Yeah, someone like him. Very likely.
Shane Duffy, a Rudiger.
Konate, I saw. Any of the Liverpool center backs, I think, could score. You'd probably pair him with Araujo or Trent, hoping. Since that's how the Liverpool fullbacks are going to get there. It's just an assist off a set piece, probably.
You want to correlate that with probably Allison also. So you get the clean sheet with the goal and an assist, and you're on your way.
Yeah.
And finally, we got goalkeeper. Depending, I mean, you would think, unless something really crazy happens, Allison is safe for 10.
Yes, I'd say that.
You'd say Ramsdale probably has more upside. He might give up a goal, but he's more likely to drop a 20 than Allison. I don't think you touch Emi Martinez tomorrow. Kepa or Mendy, probably Mendy. Mendy you could always play.
I like Robert Sanchez.
I like Robert Sanchez a lot tomorrow. Burnley have been just bunkering, hoping for a draw every game. So hopefully you just sit back and maybe get 10 from 600 cheaper than Allison.
Yep.
I don't think you touch any goalkeeper in Southampton.
Yeah.
Pope can always make saves. Guaita can make saves. Not touching Ben Foster. He's always chalk for some reason, but
no
thanks.
I'm not either.
Raya is interesting. I think if you're punting down, I think you're going Raya over Gunn.
I agree.
And that's pretty much it. I mean, it's a tough slate. We wish you luck. We'll be in chat all day tomorrow discussing this and giving our cores. Make sure you check us out in the description. Join our Discord. It's fun in there. We're trying to get everyone involved.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck.